Hey everybody, this is Juliana from Luna Healing Arts. I am a Reiki master and an astrologer, and I wanted to kind of go over this week's astrology forecast with you guys. I think that there's a lot going on energetically this week that we can tap into. Hold on one second. Let me pull up my current transits. We have the sun, Chiron, and Mercury all in Aries. And Aries is the sign of the warrior and the oh goodness, it's the fire starter, really. It's the beginning of the zodiac and it's what gets things going. And so there's a lot of dynamic energy when we're talking about Aries. A lot of a fighter spirit going on with Aries. And so with the sun and Chiron and Mercury, we're going to be feeling that energy of almost wanting and seeking out conflict just because it can get us energized, even though it might not be what's best for us. Sometimes when there's a lot of Aries energy, we can get sucked into conflict because it gives us like this feeling of power and vitality, even though that might not be the best way to channel this energy by getting into little Facebook fights with people, which I'm sure everyone can relate right now with everything going on. And we're on social media a lot more, and we're seeing everybody's opinions. Um, that sometimes that can be difficult to avoid. But channeling this energy in a more positive way, a more productive way, would be doing something to get into your body, working all that Aries energy out. Going for long walks, like getting all that warrior energy out, or using it in a productive way, a way that's helping people, not a way that's going to be cutting people down, not a way that's going to be like constantly in conflict or arguing with other people. We've got to use this energy for good, and we've got to use this energy to do something positive and productive. And this is a very entrepreneurial energy. This Aries energy is very much, what do I want? So really focusing on what we want right now. We have the energy to go forth and get it. And if there's something that you've been wanting to start for a long time, whether it's a job or a project, a creative project, something along those lines, this is that, like, let's get it going energy. This is that cardinal, that fire. Let's do this. So now's a great time to start something like that and to channel this kind of what can be aggressive energy because it's ruled by Mars, the god of war, to channel that in a really healthy way that's not going to get us in trouble. And then we have Venus and Gemini. And Gemini is an air sign. Gemini is all about the mind, and Venus rules our relationships. Gemini is also all about communication and finding the truth. So if you find yourself when in your relationships really seeking the truth about things and talking to lots of different people and trying to find out what is true and what is a fact. And so through your conversations with other people, getting down to the logic and the facts and not being kind of persuaded by all these different opinions, because there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of polarity right now with everybody. Everybody is like one extreme or the other. And so this Venus and Gemini is like, through our conversations with people and through our close relationships with people, finding the truth for you and finding what is a fact, what is logically true, and not getting kind of swayed by abstract, ideas right now, but staying really grounded in the absolute truth, what is true for you, and staying by that. So this Venus in Gemini, it's going to be in Gemini all week. So we're going to be, maybe having some conversations with our loved ones that are getting down to the truth and the facts with other people, or maybe just with other people that you come into contact with. I've been finding for me, it's been a lot of having conversations with other people, and I'm hearing their truth, and then I have my truth, and just being okay with that duality, because Gemini is also the sign of duality. It's the twins. And so being okay with that, someone else has a truth that is different than mine, and just accepting that and still standing firm in your truth. So agreeing to disagree. We have we still have a stellium in Capricorn. We still have the South Node. Right now, today, the moon is in Capricorn, Pluto is in Capricorn, and Jupiter is still in Capricorn. So we still have a lot of these planets and this kind of more somber, earthy element where it's really about building and long term structures and things that are going to last for a long time. So with the moon being in Capricorn, and let's see, I think just for today, it'll move into Aquarius tomorrow, and the South Node being in Capricorn, and Pluto being in Capricorn, and Jupiter being in Capricorn. We're still learning these lessons with that very close relationship with Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn. We're still learning these bigger lessons of, okay, what are the structures that need to be transformed, the conditioning and the structures that have been in control on a personal level. So this could be childhood conditioning that needs to be unearthed and released and worked through. It could be on the collective level, these structures that have been in place for years that need to be, through Pluto, transformed. Pluto is that planet of transformation, and Capricorn is all about, long held structures and building and wealth and mastery. So we're not losing that, but we're transforming it. So those long-term, long-held conditioning beliefs on the personal level, that's being transformed as well right now. So it might feel like you're just, you could feel like you have some deep healing going on, but it's almost subterranean. It might not even be in your conscious awareness. For me, I've been having lots of really crazy dreams, and I've come to realize that that is my subconscious healing. And I might not even be aware of what exactly it's healing, but I know that it's happening. It's happening when I sleep, without my conscious awareness. So that's probably happening on the collective right now as well, with everything going on. And then we have Mars in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius. And so Mars and Saturn, well, first of all, Saturn moving into Aquarius. I've talked a little bit about it on my Instagram, but you know, just like we were talking about those long held structures that Capricorn is famous for. Well, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. So again, we're talking about these things that have been in place for a really long time. And Saturn and Aquarius, like Saturn just moved into Aquarius. So we're going to start to see some of these long held structures, whether it's, for you personally, wherever Saturn is in your chart, whatever house that's in for you, there's going to be some changes, because Aquarius is really the sign of progression and of evolution and of forward thinking and moving forward. It's the future. And so the things that have been in place for a long time are going to start to evolve. So we can see this already with technology and the way that we've done things, especially in the workplace. Capricorn is often associated with public life and work life. The way that a lot of companies have done things for a long, long time, we're seeing that that's being catapulted into the future. We're being forced to like move forward in so many different ways and do things differently, using technology more to connect with people. And so we're seeing this Saturn in Aquarius play out like really fast, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of quick, radical change. So it's like it happened overnight. And it's going to continue as Saturn is going to be in Aquarius it'll move back into Capricorn and it'll come back to Aquarius, I think in December of this year, and then it'll stay there for a couple of years. So over the next couple of years, we're going to keep seeing that radical, quick, forward moving. So expect to see a lot of that in the next few years, especially when it comes to the way that maybe companies operate. Anything that's been held in place for a long time, Aquarius is about to disrupt it and move it forward. It's like, okay, it's time to go, because, Saturn was in Capricorn right before, and it'll move back into Capricorn for a little bit, but then it'll stay in Aquarius for the next few years once it comes back in December. So ultimately, I think we're going to see a lot more changes in technology, in the way that we do things, and in the structures that our society is built on. Lots of changes, lots of forward motion, which is good. And then we have Mars in Aquarius as well. So again, Aquarius, air, and Mars is energy. So it's like this Mars is like your willpower and your vitality, your drive. So being in Aquarius, again, we're just going to see a lot of that like forward thinking, driven energy where we just want to move into the future. We're ready. We're ready for change. We are ready for change. We are, sick of the way that we've been doing things that haven't worked. So this could be on a personal level, doing the same things over and over again that just, they're not working anymore. So we are ready for change. Collectively, I think we're going to see this as well. Lots of good, positive change. Chiron is still in Aries. Chiron is our wounded healer. So anybody that hasn't asked that this is going to be personally affected by Chiron and Aries, if your Chiron is in Aries, so if you're around 50 years old, you'll be undergoing your Chiron return. If you're around 30 years old, 28 to 30, you'll be going through your Saturn return. So these are all really cool things that we can look into in a birth chart reading. And you can see how these transits are really going to affect you differently. It depends on what house it's in. It depends on what sign it's in. But the Saturn return is what grows you up. It's what matures us. It's what transforms us into responsible adults who are sharing our gifts and contributing them to society. The Chiron return, if you're around 50 years old, this is a time of deep, deep healing and transformation. So lots of really cool things that you can look at if you think that you might be going through one of these returns. Please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to do a birth chart reading for you and explain to you more about what this means for you, as well as the timetable, how long it's going to last, when you might start to feel some relief, all that good stuff. Let's see, we've got Neptune is in Pisces. So that is where Neptune likes to be, in Pisces. Neptune is at home in Pisces. So this is, Not a lot of water in the cosmos right now. We've got our North Node is in Cancer and our Neptune is in Pisces, but other than that, everything is fire, air, and earth. So for us water signs, this might be a little uncomfortable. We're used to, you know, we feel more comfortable with water and with earth, but so if you're a water sign, this energy could feel a little unstable, destabilizing, or erratic. And so any sort of grounding techniques that you can do will really help you kind of navigate this energy. But overall, I think with all the fire, all the air, there's going to be a lot of ideas, there's going to be a lot of change, there's going to be a lot of discussion, a lot of conversations. You might have to set boundaries with some of that because you might be finding that certain conversations with certain people just are draining you or they're not serving you. So you might have to set a boundary with some of this Gemini, some of this air energy, because the Gemini energy just wants to move and grow and learn and talk. And that's great, but we might need to take care of ourselves and get off of Facebook. And some of this Aries energy, this warrior energy, same kind of thing. We might have to set some boundaries and not get caught up in constantly fighting, feeling like we have to fight. You don't have to fight right now. This time is really ideal for rest, deep rest, replenishment, aligning your goals with your heart's calling, and really discovering more about who you are and why you're here and how you can come out of this in a more aligned way. And that's something that astrology is spectacular for. That's why I started doing astrology. Astrology is I think, the most empowering tool for finding out what you're here to do, what your strengths are, what your divine gifts are, and really uncovering how to share that with the world. And I think that a birth chart reading is so empowering for that reason. So again, if you're interested in a birth chart reading, comment below and we will get you set up. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. And I will be doing these weekly. So if you enjoy these little astro chats, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we will talk next week. Bye, guys.